Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. This week, Kent visits The Wave to talk about their new coffee menu, and then Jenny Graham comes here to the studio to discuss her campaign. But first, a word from our sponsors.
At Eastern Washington University, biologists are harnessing gut microbes to build stronger bees. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And geology joins forces with robotics to explore innovative solutions for climate change. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world, that's the new thing. It isn't a tagline, it's a philosophy wrapped in red and white. It is Eastern Washington and you.
Well, welcome. We took a tour of the Wave restaurant a couple months ago, and it's a new place. It's redone. It's constantly changing their menus and so forth. But there was this side option over here, and that is called now what?
It's called Tidal Wave Cafe and Beverage Bar.
Okay, all right. And you've been wanting to do this for a while, and you just opened.
Yep.
And are you excited?
I am excited. It's been a completely different journey for me because, as you know, I was the bar manager. I'm still the bar manager. I just have more things to do now.
Of course, that's how it works. Welcome to the reality these days, right?
Right. But it's been fun because it's out of my element. It's not something that I've done before. I had very, very brief espresso experience.
Yeah.
So this whole thing has been new to me, but it's been fun. It's been a good challenge.
Yeah. Let's tell folks where we are and where people can find it, number one, okay?
So we're connected to the Wave.
Right.
We're on the corner of First and Howard.
Okay.
We have our own side door that now has a logo on it, so you can see exactly where we are, and a sign outside, so now it points you in the right direction, whereas before you could not tell that this was even here. So that's where we're at. We're right connected. The wall's been taken out, which has been that way since the remodel. We've really tried to integrate this side with the Wave restaurant itself. We started with the boba. We do boba during lunchtime. We are, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, going to be launching a new non-alcoholic drink menu that'll be a QR code on all the tables.
Oh, fun.
So that it has everything, all the possibilities, the smoothies, the coffee, the boba,
And you
everything.
can update it that way easily, too, without having to go out and print things and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I can get what's here in the restaurant as well, so it's all integrated and all
We've been cross-training quite a few people, so a few of our hosts know how to make things back here, and then we have servers that are servers and also work here. I work here a couple of days a week, and I bartend and manage other days.
Yeah.
So we've kind of cross-trained quite a few people, so there usually is somebody in here that knows how to do this, and as soon as that new drink menu launches, we will always have somebody here that knows how to do it.
Yeah, what do you do in your spare time? The answer is nothing, because you don't have spare time, do you?
Well, Wednesdays are typically my day.
Oh, okay. And we're shooting this on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to the lake after, so it's all good.
Okay. The learning new things. That's been a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you felt like you've grown a lot in doing that?
I do.
I mean,
I do, honestly.
yeah.
I get really bored when I do the same thing for long periods of time, and I've been in the service industry for, 11, 12 years now, and I like new things. I like new challenges, and no matter where I end up, I always end up into some kind of like shift lead or manager position because I don't like to just sit
we need more people like you, okay? I'm that way too, you know. If the worst thing that used to happen when I worked for a company here in town 30 years ago was, Kent's not busy. That means we're in trouble. He's thinking of something new.
Right.
Okay. And so continue that tradition.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the favorite things? It's not just wellness kinds of things, right? I can come and sin a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a full espresso bar. So we have all of the great coffee drinks and the sugary coffee drinks. We do Italian sodas and Red Bull Italian sodas. We have the boba, which has extended a lot now. We started with just doing milk tea and Thai tea and putting it in Red Bull Italian sodas, but now we also have the taro, and we have Sakura, which is a Japanese cherry blossom, like a blended drink. It's really good. And the taro one also tastes like cake. It's like having dessert. And our new boba, we make it fresh, and it's delicious, and it's It's really good. And then we also still have the smoothies because those have always been something that they've done over here.
You're right.
Well, we have
Kind
residents.
of expected when you come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have residents that live upstairs that they come down here and they get smoothies or coffee. We have acai bowls, we have scrambles, we have burritos. We kind of just started with those things.
Okay.
And then as the time goes on, we're going to add more food items.
So I could come in and have a snack or something as well as a drink and so forth, and do it in here as well. Yeah, I remember, because I've been here in Spokane for like 46 years, and it's always been called the Columbia Building. But now people live upstairs and turn it into
It's the Marjorie building now.
Marjorie, yes. Yes, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice because there's Airbnbs up there as well. So we constantly have like a new flow of people.
Oh, okay.
So I've been working on coupons that we're going to start putting in those Airbnbs
Nice.
so that people know that they can come down here and get a discount, another perk for them for having stayed in this building. So a lot of good things are coming. It's very exciting.
That. And you're just down the street from our studio.
Yes,
too. Yes.
I am.
Easy walking distance. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, what are the hours? Daily?
So right now we are Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 until 4, and then Saturdays and Sundays we're open from 11 to 4.
Okay.
As soon as that new drink menu comes out, though, it's going to be extended. Because what it'll be is at nighttime, they utilize all these tables for the Wave restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So we will have somebody that has this section, just like a bartender has a section.
Sure.
So they will be in charge of making all the drinks, but they will also take tables over here. So you can still get sushi and everything over here as well. You can order from that whole entire menu. During the day, you can order from the sushi lunch menu. Everything is interchangeable. You can get everything over here in the restaurant. You can get everything from the restaurant over here.
And then I'm not a sushi fan.
Right. We have a whole nother kitchen.
There are choices because I've eaten here.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I just want people to know that I know I have a lot of friends who love sushi and have been here over the years.
Yeah.
And so forth. Oh, they're back open and all that was kind of the excitement expressed. But yeah, but the husband or the wife might say, well, that's not my favorite.
Yeah.
And I've been saying, hey, I've eaten other than sushi here. So,
yeah.
Okay.
We do have a great mix because we have everything from burgers to Hawaiian favorites and stir-fry bowls and all of the sushi options. And now this side is bringing in more options as well, which is blending well together.
Is there a Facebook site?
I don't quite have a Facebook yet. I've been trying to decide if I wanted to have its own or if I wanted to add it to the Wave. So I do post about this stuff on our Waves Facebook.
Okay, good.
We did just get a Google listing though, so now we have our own
watch
separate.
out, everybody! It's coming. Okay.
We got our own separate Google listing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to. I'm just trying to figure out how I can do it to where it links to. To the Waves, so that people know.
You're young enough to figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go to people under 30 to figure those things out. But I love it here. I always, when we come in, have felt welcomed and everything else. I think that's great. I love that you're learning.
Yeah.
Because I've learned a lot, and I'm in my 70s, okay? And I'm still learning, okay? Probably better than I did in high school, but we won't tell any of it. Probably most of the teachers are gone by now. But anyway, I know. Jesse, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
And the name of the place is?
Tidal Wave Cafe and Beverage Bar.
All right, right here. And the Wave is just a few feet that direction. Come visit.
Starting a digging project? Before you reach for the shovel, you must click callbeforeyoudig.org, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. Protect our buried utilities and click callbeforeyoudig.org. digging project, before you reach for the shovel, you must click callbeforeyoudig.org, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. Protect our buried utilities and click callbeforeyoudig.org.
Well, welcome. Kent Adams here, and we're going to be talking news today. We're going to be talking with 6th District Representative Jenny Graham. I used to get to vote for her, but the districts have all been changed, in case you hadn't noticed, and so I'm in a different district now. And but she's still one of my favorites. Okay, so maybe I'll just pop in and vote for somebody. No, I won't. We won't want to say that. Anyway, Jenny, how are you?
I am doing great.
You did okay in the primary.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to thank the people for that, by the way,
Yeah.
for having trust and faith in me.
Yes, and you have some new voters too.
Yes.
Right, because of the change in the boundaries and so forth. It seems like between the legislative districts and the new county commissioner districts, you got to check where you vote and who you're voting for, because it can be all different from before.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, it's that game of whatever it is that you move things around on the board, and you know, where do things go?
Well, and then there's some, because we've been driving the boundaries.
Yes.
So up on 5 Mile, it can be the 3rd on one side and the 6th on the other. The lines are just crazy, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just fun getting to a chance to
meet new people,
That's
too.
right.
Yes.
Meet them out their doors, meet them out events, go to businesses. I enjoy all of it.
Do you hear when someone opens the door, do you hear, "Oh, you're now my new representative"?
No, not necessarily. It's one of those things where they may not know it. Most people are not aware. And I just simply introduce myself and let them know that that area is now coming into the 6th District.
Right, right.
And that I am.
Are you often the first to tell them that?
Yes. Well, when you have somebody come to your door, they're going to want to know why you're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is this lady and what does she want?
You're not selling Tupperware or
No.
something like that. Oh, you enjoy doorbelling, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Why?
I honestly enjoy it because you have an opportunity, again, to meet the people that you're serving.
Yes.
And you have an opportunity to listen to the things that are on their mind that keep
Okay.
them up at night. Sometimes they have questions where they didn't really necessarily think about reaching out.
Right.
But when
you're there, so
when
now
you're
they can-
there, a lot of times it just kind of slipped their mind. They didn't really think about contacting us at the state level.
Okay.
So I've really had great reception.
Yeah.
It's been really nice.
When you say that they don't think about contacting you at the state level, I get that, but so much local is directed by the state.
Yes.
And by those who go to Olympia and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we see the problems that it has caused our police and our deputies and our sheriff's department. We've seen the homeless issues and so forth. And all of these really, yes, they are local problems, but often our local folks are hand-tied by what the state has thought had a great idea, and even heard reports and input from police and sheriffs and others to some of the things that they went ahead and passed. And now the local sheriff's office, the local police department are dealing with it on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah. I know you've been in that battle at the state level to try to stop some things and put some common sense. I don't see a lot of common sense from many of our, especially Democrat state legislators, okay? It's the woke type approach. Let's do this, let's do that. We have a justice system now that favors those who commit crimes. I'm sorry, but that's what we have right now.
That is.
And it's sad, and it's causing more problems. It's causing problems
in neighborhoods. It's certainly causing problems going downtown and what they're encountering and so forth. How do we begin, Jenny, in your job, how do we begin to make that change when you're the minority party? I mean, that's the reality.
Well, for me, I do make an effort to reach out to whether they're people in my own caucus
Right.
or people in the other caucus.
With some facts.
Facts, but also, I really do look at this from the standpoint that the people that I serve are the ones that are in charge.
Yes, yes.
And that's why going to the doors is so important, because you get to hear their stories. You get to hear about how things are affecting them. Sometimes you might understand an issue a little better.
Yes.
Other times there could be a solution
Yes.
in that conversation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But I think that part of when we talk about common sense, you're also unfortunately having to grapple with definitions
Yes.
of common sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because what one person sees as common sense, the other person may not.
Yep.
So that's why we are a nation of laws.
Right.
That those laws allow us to be able to live and work and raise our families and retire in peace and safety, because everybody should be expected to go by the laws that we have, the law of the land. But that's not in balance right now.
Yeah.
We have two different sets of rules
Yes.
for different individuals based on what their situation is. And I think part of it is, again, the people in general have a right to decide what kind of neighborhood
Right.
they want to live in.
Right.
I am a person that is safe and clean neighborhoods first.
Right.
Because without that, nothing else matters. If you're dead,
That's for
Nothing
where
else
our
matters.
families are, our children are, our neighbors are. Yes.
right. So, and it goes back to, a perfect example would be with what's going on with Camp Hope
Yes.
right now. You basically have an autonomous zone right here
Yeah.
in
It's
Spokane.
an illegal camp, isn't it?
It is illegal
Yeah.
for them to be there, but you also have known criminals, traffickers
Yes.
that are in that area. You're not getting in there unless they know who you are or there's
Right.
something that you want.
Right.
And I think, things have even escalated a little more when we have law enforcement that has a drone. They're trying to see what it is
Right.
that's going on. And somebody from the camp has another drone that attacks the police officers'
Oh, gee.
drone, so they can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
And the other thing from different other sources that I have is that that's not necessarily local people that are there. We have people that are coming from outside
Yes, clearly.
of Washington State. They're coming here for certain things that they know that are available.
And
And they're coming here because they know that it's a criminal's paradise right now, where if you're a crime victim or the family of a crime victim, you're a business.
Well, talk to the people that live near there and the businesses that have employees coming in and out and are getting harassed and their windows are being broken and things are being stolen out of their cars
Right.
and businesses and so forth.
Right.
Where's the protection for that?
Well, that's what I said. Where's the compassion?
Yeah.
We talk about compassion,
Yeah.
but we never talk about what compassion looks like
Yeah.
for our families and our neighborhoods
Right.
and our businesses.
Compassion is really helping people,
Yes.
not prolonging their current misery.
Right,
Okay?
right.
I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward.
Right.
Maybe not simple how to do, but there are organizations, Union Gospel Mission would be one that comes to mind, that makes change, makes permanent change,
Right.
makes life-changing changes
Right.
in people and so forth. I love seeing when they post, the graduations and Next Step Up and folks who have been drug addicts and alcoholics and everything else that are back with their kids now and back as a family unit. The Promise Center, I'm not saying it right. There are several here that are doing it right, and we need to be supporting more of them every single day.
Right, right. But that's also has to be a community conversation. what kind of neighborhood do you want to live in?
Yes.
What kind of neighborhood do you want to work in? What kind of neighborhood do you
Yes.
want to retire in, raise your family in?
Safe.
Safe
Is the key
and
word.
clean.
Yes.
Everything else we can, handle after that. Now, there are some issues that are going on right now with them looking to, I'm just going to say, move the Camp Hope problem
Up
to
the hill,
right to
Sunset Hill.
another area.
Yeah.
So I've spent time yesterday really delving into that from a state level, because it's not just the Quality Inn they're looking at. They're also looking at
What was the Berg
the
place?
pallet homes
Yes.
and other low-income housing. And it's never a good idea to concentrate that all in one area.
no.
It's a bad idea. There are hotels there.
For those that are
There's
being cared
the airport,
for, too. It's
right,
not just for the neighbors.
right. But what I'm saying, though, too, is that's where we have hotels.
Yes.
That's where we have the airport.
Yes.
Right? So you're going to transport, and it's organized crime,
Yeah.
okay? We're going to transport that closer out there. And, and I'm going to say that also when it comes to people on both sides of the aisle. One of the things that I can see right off the bat that would be helpful, there's a woman that I've been talking to, she's homeless. She's in a mental facility right now, and I've been working to try to help her,
Nice.
which is helping me
Yes.
learn this process
Yes.
too.
Yes.
But she mentioned, that she was homeless, living in her car, and one of the biggest things that she was facing, that is, if you go to a shelter, you have to be in line by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and if you're not, then you can't, you don't
get
have a
in.
place to stay.
Yeah.
So somebody that is doing the right things, keeping up their end of the bargain, wanting to work, they can't go to work.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why something can't be done immediately
Yeah.
to start turning that around, where if they have a job and they're going to work, we should help them be able to
Absolutely.
do that.
Absolutely. I don't want to get into this very far at all, but I think there are a couple organizations and a couple of opportunists out there with their organizations that are taking advantage of some of the money that's available.
Yes.
And so forth. And I don't want to go into who. I want to cover that at some point.
Right.
Okay.
That'll be another
Yes.
segment that
You and I talked on the phone the other day, and you talked about Senate Bill 5036. Remind me what that is.
in a nutshell, Senate Bill 5036, which I have been battling and will continue to battle.
Yes.
For all intents purposes, eliminates 3 strikes, and it pretty much eliminates life without the possibility of parole. So for a lot of the people that haven't read the bill, don't really know what it is, when it came up last session, and for the last 2 sessions, I have been facing major pressure from special interests
Yes.
coming into committee and literally saying, if you do not vote for this bill as an elected official, you're racist.
Yes. Yes.
So
well, everything today is
for
about
the last,
racism.
I know, but
It's
for the
just-
last session was really over the top.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people don't understand with this bill, and it's why you have Jim McDevitt, who is the chair for the Clemency and Pardons Board. He's also been attacked
Yes.
and been accused of being racist, which is ridiculous.
It is.
We are looking at public safety.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
End of story. And when you have a bill that says that these individuals will be considered for clemency, regardless of what they've done, they can apply, and the board that is listening, they have to assume that that person is no longer a danger to our neighborhoods, to our families, to our businesses. The board has to prove that that person is a danger. Okay, so there's your first problem
Yeah.
right there.
Right.
Because I actually sat through a parole hearing
Oh, boy.
with the ISRB board for a gentleman, a mass murderer. So I watched that process unfold. I watched the questioning that was going on. And it was unbelievable that the man, multiple times, you could tell he was lying right through his teeth, and they didn't hold him accountable to that.
Yeah.
He didn't apologize, didn't take responsibility for what he did, showed zero emotion or care, that when he walked out of that business, he thought he'd murdered 5 people and tortured them for 2 hours before that. So during that whole that whole hearing, it was all about him.
Yes.
The murderer had the lawyer.
Right.
The murderer had the counselor. The murderer had all 5 of those committee
It's
members.
not about victims anymore.
No.
It just isn't.
So they were all, rowing in the same direction for the murderer, and I'm watching the crime victims. They have to try and put a case together by themselves. Number one, we have a justice system and we have sentencing guidelines that we're not going by, right? So the families are told one thing.
Yeah.
Just like with the Freeman shooting that just happened.
Right.
Oh, he's got 40 years and, they'll take 5 off and it'll be 35. Well, I have zero faith in that.
Yeah.
Based on what it is that I have seen. They are in conjunction with trying to pass this 5036 bill. They are also working to take the minimum and maximum sentencing and reduce it.
Oh. One of the things, because of being a TV station, we get a lot of the press releases from the sheriff's office and the city police department and others and so forth. And I almost am amused, except that's the wrong word to use. It makes light of it, but I get this, and so-and-so was arrested tonight. I'm doing whatever it might be. And then they talk about so-and-so's record and the prior 18 convictions and so forth. And I'm going, what do they miss? That he's let out on $5,000 bond, which means you put up $500 and so forth. I mean, what does it take to have some common sense? And the left doesn't have that anymore. It's more about protecting the perpetrators, not protecting those of us who live in homes, those of us who go to grocery stores, those of us who go to gas stations and are accosted and so forth. It's got to be balanced here. That's what justice is about. And how do we get there? We need more of you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I've definitely had my battles that have come up, and I've stood my ground, and rightfully so.
And some on the left don't like it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So a perfect example, I was at an event, and there was a gentleman that came up and point blank, was talking about different elected officials, that
How they care about people and things
no.
Oh.
No. This person was clearly in the camp of they want to let everybody out and they don't care what crime they've done.
No more jails.
Right.
Nothing.
And that he point blank told me that the elected leaders are going to cave and they are going to get on our train or we are going to roll over the top of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And some of those elected folks want to continue to be elected.
well, based on what I've been experiencing, being on the Public Safety Committee and Civil Rights and Judiciary as a ranking member, there has been, especially the last couple of sessions, people that are coming in with an agenda to try to push a narrative.
Yeah.
Right? Any way they possibly can to make something look different than it really is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the end justifies the means. They don't care how they get you out. They don't care if it's the truth or not. It doesn't matter
You've
to
got
them.
that a little bit in your race too, don't you? For re-election.
Yes.
I mean, where the money's coming from and some things like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to point to this. It is going to take people with a strong backbone.
Yes.
Thick skin, and I just am looking at this as paying it forward. We've raised our family here in Spokane.
Yes.
Our kids went to Spokane schools.
And next
I
are our
volunteered.
grandkids coming.
That's right.
Yes,
And
yes.
Spokane has been a beautiful place
Yes.
to raise our family.
Right.
I want to see that stay.
Yep.
I want that for everybody else that's trying to raise their families
Absolutely.
and retire.
Yeah.
You know, these are our neighborhoods.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They shouldn't belong to the criminals.
No.
You know, but the bottom line is it's going to take the community
Yeah.
deciding what kind of neighborhood do you want to live in.
Well, we're gonna face some things in the next year or two, and I'm gonna be very pro new jail. Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take some hits for that. And
Right.
and a lot of other leaders in this town, and I know John Knowles will as our new sheriff and so forth. And we've got some opportunity to elect some good people to go to Olympia with you. And so,
Right.
because I know you're going back.
Right.
But it.
On that jail thing, really quickly.
Yes.
Our jail was built in 1985 for 1985 problems.
Yes.
Okay. And I've taken the time to go on tours. I take the time because I care.
Yes.
And what I have seen is if we are looking at a new jail, we have an opportunity to fix some of the problems
Yes.
that exist right now that I've been able to see, such as there's been some deaths that have happened.
Yes, and overcrowding and all
Right,
the other things.
right.
And maybe separate some of the inmates and so forth, and one for more social help and so forth, and one for
Exactly.
no, you know, they're the hardened criminals. They have a long record. They don't get all the soft cushions right away. You know what I mean?
Well, right.
They have to prove themselves, work their way up, and so it'll probably be two separate approaches in
There should be. We
Yes.
should have something because again, I am stand up for crime victims
Yes.
and their families.
Yes.
But if somebody is wrongfully convicted of something, I will fight just as hard for them. But I will also stand behind and help to support somebody that is taking responsibility if they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
And they are taking advantage of the opportunities that are available to them.
change their life.
They're holding up their end of the bargain.
Yes.
And they're not creating
What
new
can we do to help them?
victims. That's right.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we have
Yes.
separate situations.
Yes.
And what we're seeing at the state level is they want to take somebody that's stolen a candy bar
Yeah.
and somebody that is the most vicious criminal serial killer, and they want to put them in the same basket. They want to treat them exactly the same.
No.
And we can't do that.
No.
That's just not common sense. And it really is putting safe and clean neighborhoods last on the list.
Yeah.
So,
I remember talking with Jeff Holey when he first ran for office, and you know, as a former cop and everything else, you know, crime was going to be one of his things. What was it, 6 or 8 years ago now? I guess 8 years ago. And he was talking about, well, we need safe streets, and I said, yes, we do. That's cop talk. We need safe neighborhoods because my wife and I and my family live in a safe neighborhood. You live in a, yeah. I said, talk our language, not the cop language.
Right.
Because, you know, and he's always since then talked about we've got to have safe neighborhoods. And that means safe neighborhoods downtown. And it means safe neighborhoods out near the neighborhood of Camp Hope and all of that too.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so forth. Jenny, I wish I could vote for you this year, but I can't. Okay, maybe I can get a temporary housing or something in the district. But I've voted for you a couple times, and I look forward to seeing on election morning, the next morning, your win and going back to Olympia. Thank you for all you do for our area. You take this to heart. I know you have family in the game that have been murdered and things like that, and so it comes from experience, which I can't really begin to understand. Okay, but you do, and you take that to help other people in this community, and I know that. And so I hope you're still my friend, even if you're not my legislator. Okay, that's important to me, and I so appreciate all that you have done. You're the most researched person I know. You just spend the time, maybe too much time, but you do. And so thank you for all you do for all of all of our district in the 6th district, and we look forward to November and seeing the results that night. Thank you for coming in, and we'll have you keep coming in because you bring up some of the issues that are most important to me and to our viewers.
Yes.
Safety.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I hear that from a lot of people. And so you're really helping to lead the charge in this area.
Right.
And working with some of the opposition on this too.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe we bring them in someday and have them both sit here and we'll talk about all of this because it's a problem we as a community need to solve, both here in Spokane and in Olympia, so they don't send laws that tie our folks.
Yes. I'm hoping maybe the next time I come too, we might be able to do a segment on the shooting issues, the drive-by shootings.
Yes.
So hopefully the next time that I
Okay.
come, we can talk about House Bill 2094.
Yes. Briefly, what's the problem?
Okay, so House
We'll
Bill.
tease the audience a
yeah,
little bit.
House Bill 2094, it is my bill, which
Okay.
is prohibiting persons convicted of violent offenses with firearm enhancement from receiving early release credits.
Oh, gee.
Okay, that bill I introduced after a bad bill was introduced, House Bill 1692, to reduce the penalties for drive-by shootings.
Okay.
So think about that for a
Wait,
minute.
our drive-by shootings are increasing in this area.
Exactly.
And they want to reduce the penalties?
Exactly.
Okay.
We cannot be angry about the gun violence that's going on right now.
If we're not
People
gonna
are
address
being
it.
hurt, they're being killed.
Yes,
It's a serious issue.
it is.
And they want to reduce the penalties for it. We can't be angry about these crimes if we're not willing to hold the
Yes.
people that are committing the crimes accountable
Yeah, we'll do it next
and
time.
make it hurt.
Yes. Oh, boy, we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we
I'll
do.
I'll see you in a week or two, okay?
Yes, you will.
All right. Thank you, Jenny, and have a good day, okay?
right,
Thanks.
bye.
And thanks for watching, everybody.
Can you believe it was like 6 weeks ago that we drove by? Did it, babe? We did it. Now your eyes are all teary.
Thank you so much for watching the Pulse of Spokane. Join us every Friday for a new edition. Till then, have a good weekend.